You said this place was steps from the water.
We just haven't found the steps yet.
How much did we save?
Enough.
Enough to get lost?
Or you could book a stay with Hilton.
Welcome to your oceanfront room, just steps from the water.
The Hilton sale is on now. Book on Hilton.com or the Hilton app and save up to 20% to get the stay you expected. When you want savings, not surprises, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
Some things are impossible to miss, like an elephant in the room, or a bull in a china shop, or this season's amazing offers, brought to you by PayPal. Discover offers from hundreds of brands like Viator, Allbirds, and Tory Burch right in the PayPal app. Save an offer before you check out with PayPal and earn unlimited rewards. Download the PayPal app to get started. Terms and exclusions apply. See paypal.com/rewards terms.
Wasn't that weird with your ex-wife? Like, what did you guys?
We were really good friends.
Yeah, you didn't hate each other.
No, not at all.
She knew me.
This is the plaintiff, Lori Susan O'Hara. She says she dated the defendant for 8 years. And looking back, it was a long 8 years indeed. The guy had no ambition. He's like 52, going on 19. Since she already had 2 children and didn't need another, she threw him out. This got him quite upset. He owes her a whole heap of money for things like rent and a cell phone, for crying out loud. Well, the buck stops here. She's suing him for the $1,349.84 she's owed. This is the defendant, J. Lawrence Coatson. He says he and the plaintiff had a pretty rocky relationship, and she even threatened him from time to time. In fact, the woman drove him plumb nuts, so he stopped seeing her. He has no idea why she's suing him now, because he never officially lived with her, never promised her anything, and he thinks the judge is going to see right through her and rule for him. He's accused of not acting his age.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Lori Susan O'Hara?
Yes.
You are suing J. Lawrence Coatson?
Coatson, correct.
For $1,349.84 that you say he owes you in rent, cell phone bills, and medical insurance payments that he refuses to pay. Okay, tell me your tale of woe. How long have you known this gentleman, and what was your relationship with him?
I've known him for 9 years. We dated for a little over 8. The first couple of years was kind of, he was still married, waited several years for him to get divorced. She knew about it. I mean, it wasn't a situation where she didn't know about me. They were living separate lives, but technically on paper they were. I know.
Wait, just stop. Was he living with her in a household?
In his own room, did his own thing.
Is that accurate?
Correct.
So your wife, your ex-wife, and you, I assume she's an ex?
Correct.
Yes,
Okay.
she is now.
Lived in the same household, leading separate lives openly for how long and why?
I stayed there for my son.
How old was your son?
Well, he's going to be 16 now.
But you both just said, you do what you want, I'll do what I want. And
well, it wasn't like that. You know, we didn't have people come to the house. I had my own room on the other side of the house, and we just went our same ways.
Did your son notice that it was a little weird?
Yeah, he understood. He grew to understand more, and that's when I left.
Okay. So what happened?
We dated for a while.
Wasn't that weird with your ex-wife? Like, what did you guys?
We were really good friends.
Yeah, you didn't hate each other.
No, not at all.
She knew me.
I thought you said you weren't bringing people over.
Well, no, she knew me. She knew we were dating. I mean, she knew they were living separate lives.
Right. I'm sure this has absolutely nothing to do with the case, but I'm fascinated. But I'm fascinated.
But if you want the history.
Okay, so then what?
So we waited. He left and got a room with a friend of his. And it was always our intention to move in together. And he stayed over my house, 4 or 5 times a week. And we had tried it a couple times, and he'd stay over.
Tried what a couple times?
Tried kind of living together. He'd come over for like 2 or 3 weeks, and things would get hectic, and he'd go back to his little man cave. Or when his son came over, he had his, he had that room that he went to, and his son would stay with him over there. But in July, we decided, okay, let's really give this a try. And it's been long enough. It's been 8.5 years.
Oh, after only 8.5 years, you were actually going to...
I'm a very patient woman.
Apparently. So go ahead.
So we had said in, July that he was going to give notice to his man cave, and he would move in as of September 1st. Come September, he moved in, and October came around, and he wasn't really showing any signs of moving the rest of his stuff in. He had been there the entire month, but I could see there was a hesitation still. So I asked him, is this really what you want in this relationship? And he was like, no, not really. So I was like, all right, well then, we gave it a try. Let's just go our separate ways.
And was he upset?
I don't know. I didn't see him. That was the last time I've seen him. The following day, since he was on my cell phone plan, I had looked at his cell phone calls, and he had sent like 30 text messages to a woman that we had had discussions about prior. So I suspended his phone.
Without reading the text?
No, you don't need to be sending someone 30 text messages. But
didn't you want to read the text?
I had no way to read the text.
Oh, honey.
I know.
It's your phone.
But,
it's your plan. Listen, there's only one reason that a woman puts a man on her plan. It's not to help him out financially. It's to have control. So all you got to do, who's your provider?
Verizon.
All you got to do is call Verizon and tell them you need a transfer.
But did it really matter what they said? The fact that he sent...
I'd love to see it. Apparently,
I did ask
I am not as patient a woman as you are. I would love to see it. So, all right, so you see that and you figure out this is why he's uninterested, and then...
So I suspended his phone. He did contact me, and I kind of felt bad because he does have a son, and if something happened, that's really the only way...
So you reconnected it?
I did. I did. But I said, you've got 2 weeks to get your phone off my plan. And at the end of 2 weeks, when he had gone to the cops about his ring, because he wanted his ring back, I wanted my money back, we were kind of in a standoff. It was at the end of my billing cycle, and I said, you know what, that's it, I'm done. So I suspended his phone again, and now I'm subject to a $240 cancellation fee.
Do you have the proof of the cancellation fee?
I haven't canceled yet because I don't have the $240 to cancel. So technically, I had to unsuspend it because you can only suspend it for a certain amount of time. So actually, the phone is still active right now.
Yeah, but I need to see proof that you're being charged $240. How are you going to prove that?
I have my bills from his phone being on there prior.
All I need is proof of what you're saying. I need proof of the $240. Do you have a letter from Verizon? Because it's different amounts to cancel depending on how far into the contract.
I have on here how long he had left on his plan, and it was based on that.
Give me what you do have so that I can try to figure it out. So you're suing for the phone bill that he didn't pay, because at that point he hadn't paid 2 months, right?
He hadn't paid 2 months.
You're suing for the cancellation fee.
And we were going into a third billing cycle.
You're suing for rent for September?
September, for the month that he had said he was going to live there.
How much is your rent?
My mortgage is $2,700.
But he was only paying $700?
Correct.
Okay. Tell me about this medical insurance that you're suing for.
As part of my company, I'm allowed to insure my domestic partner. And the premiums, what I charged him was the difference between what I paid normally for me and my children. And then when I added him, the difference was the $50 every paycheck, every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And
you could drop him at any time?
Yes.
So why didn't you just drop him?
To be perfectly honest, I knew he had an appointment in November, and I felt bad.
You felt bad for the guy who you think was stepping out on you?
I know.
It wasn't.
What happened here?
Where do you want me to start?
I don't even know.
On the 2nd of October, we broke up.
Who broke up with who?
We both decided it wasn't going to work.
Were you stepping out on her with this other
Not
woman?
at all. She was a business acquaintance.
So why'd you text this girl 30 times?
We were talking about business.
She says that you owe her rent for September.
Correct.
Okay.
But I didn't
Did
live
you owe
there.
the phone bill that she says you owe?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and what about the cancellation fee? Why wouldn't you owe that?
Well, the day she canceled my phone, the second that night, I do a lot of business online. I need my phone. The third, I went out and got another phone.
Well, that's why you need to pay your bills. You hadn't paid your bills for
I'm sorry?
2 months.
Well, we got in this fight in October, so I only owed her for September.
What do you think the woman's going to do with your phone bill when she sees 30 texts to a girl she's already been telling you she's concerned about, and you're 2 months behind in paying?
Well,
Is it a big
this thing
surprise to you
started,
that
this court thing started, so I was waiting to get to court. She has a ring of mine. All I wanted was the ring back, and she would have got her money. She was blackmailing me
What
for
are
my
you
ring.
talking about? Why don't you give her ring and then you get your ring? She's blackmailing you. You wanted the ring back. Not only the ring, she had a bowling ball, right?
Oh, yeah,
And I
none
gave
of
him
that
the
matters.
bowling
Hold
ball
on,
back.
hold on.
I gave him the bowling
None
ball
of that
back
mattered.
on
It
the
was the
provision
ring.
that he'd
Wait a
pay.
second, because I read all the Facebook messages back and forth, right?
Okay.
Are those texts or Facebook messages?
Facebook messages.
Oh my Lord, I love Facebook.
too.
You know, it's great. It's horrible for my children because any stupid thing they say is out there, but it's fabulous as a judge because any stupid thing you say is out there. I didn't see that. You say I didn't see the deposit. Please do this before our call with Verizon. What deposit?
To put his phone, to switch his phone. I was going to hold the phone until he paid me my money.
What do you mean? You mean the payment? What do you mean by deposit?
To give me the money he owed me.
For the phone. Okay.
Yeah, give me the money that he owed me.
And then he
I would
says,
release
don't
his
blank
phone.
with me. You make the call, I'll make the deposit. I'm done blanking around. I'll get a new phone tomorrow and my stuff Saturday. I'm sorry, but you've been dictating this relationship since day one. I will pay you after the phone is switched over. And you say, blank you. No way. Then you get nothing back and no number.
I just wanted my ring.
It's my stuff. I'll get it back. Not without my money. Okay, and if I don't have it by Saturday, I'll just shut it off again. No big deal. You get nasty when you drink.
I wasn't drinking that night.
He says, I'm not drinking. Okay. You have some ring of his, and you're holding it hostage. Why? Because he hasn't paid you.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Well,
It was a mutual exchange.
did the police ever get involved?
Yes, they called me.
And what happened?
I told them the same thing. He'll get his ring when I get my money, and they
And
said,
they didn't say to you,
well,
no,
they
no,
said
you-
it was theft. And they said,
Right.
it could be considered theft. He thankfully didn't press charges, or he would have his ring, and I'd be here
Just
without
wanted a
having his
mutual
ring.
exchange.
Silver bracelets? All right. What about this medical insurance stuff? Have you made any of those payments in order to have medical insurance?
As soon as I get my ring, yeah, I've paid her in the past,
No,
monthly.
but you didn't pay her in September. You didn't pay her in October. You have appointments you're going to.
Right.
And using the insurance. Why would you not pay her?
Well, she's going to get the money. I just want my
No,
ring.
but I mean, you're not understanding.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, suppose that you guys are getting divorced and you have a 7-year-old son and you want to be near the son. Would you ever move into the same house and stay in the same house, rather, with your ex in order to be close to the kid? Would you?
Yeah, for sure.
And you would start dating other people, no problem?
Yeah, no problem as long as both parties are happy with that.
Are both parties ever really happy with that?
Probably not, but I would be.
Okay, what about, staying in the same house, dating other people, you're watching your ex-husband date other people, would you do it to be close to your kid?
Absolutely.
You could coexist under the same roof?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Who couldn't?
I couldn't. I'd let him date, but he couldn't bring her home.
Oh, good. Okay. Thinking. Going inside the courtroom.
Do you understand that all she had to do to be vindictive, and not even vindictive, all she had to do, she had a perfect right to do, is cancel you?
Yes, I do.
And then you'd have no insurance.
I understand that.
Clearly not, or you would have paid September and October and November, because a normal woman would have canceled you. So I'm just sort of wondering how you think the way you think.
Well, September, I paid in October.
Right.
But I just wanted the ring back. So when I got the ring, I would have given her the money.
So you're not going to give her the insurance money. It's not like you're
Well, no,
giving her
she's gonna
something
get
that's
it.
hers. You're giving her something to pay for your insurance.
I owed it to her. I owe her the money. I just want my ring,
How do you
Your Honor.
not just cancel this guy and let him float on his own? When is he ever going to grow up if you don't?
Sometimes.
Why are you such an enabler? Why do you pick men like this?
Sometimes
is every
the
man
heart
you
and
ever
the
picked
head
in your
aren't in
life
the
like
right
that? No,
spot.
but stop. Is this a pattern with you?
No. The heart and the head just weren't on the right page.
I mean, I understand, you're infatuated, but this is 8 years of this.
I know.
So how, you know.
But we had always gotten back together, and I guess there was something in me that thought, you know, at the time.
That thought what?
I don't
If you
know.
want insurance, you got to pay for it.
I know, I asked for it.
So why
That's
didn't
why
you
I
just
filed.
cancel him?
That's why I filed.
Did you actually use the insurance in November? You actually went to doctor's appointments in November?
Yes.
Have you canceled
I
them
planned
now?
on paying her, Your Honor. I planned on paying her. I just wanted the ring back. I just wanted a mutual exchange. It was simple as that.
No, it's not simple. It's anything but simple. You're also suing for some sweater from Paris for your daughter? What's that? You
No,
just
it's-
added that today?
No. When I was on my business trip, I bought his son a sweatshirt from Paris. It doesn't fit him, so I had asked for it back. I just don't want him using it as a dust cloth if my daughter can use it. I mean, I would like to get it back.
Why? That's a gift you bought his son from Paris.
It doesn't fit him.
Tough. That's silly. Is that a good sound for you or a bad sound for you?
What sound, ma'am? Your Honor.
That.
I don't know. Sounds like I'm getting my ring back. That's all I wanted.
Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. You got the ring with you? Let me see. You have it on your finger? Lady, listen. Cancel the phone. Cancel the insurance today.
It is canceled.
Okay. The insurance is canceled too?
As of today's last day.
Great. What's the big deal with this ring?
It's a 300 ring from bowling, something I'll probably never do again.
Did you counterclaim for the ring?
I did when I spoke to people.
You didn't counterclaim for the ring? You're this lazy? You didn't counterclaim for the ring?
I didn't realize I had to.
You didn't realize that to get the ring back, you have to counterclaim for it? I don't know. I have half a mind to just give her the ring back. Honey, you want to get rid of the ring?
He can have the ring.
Okay, fabulous. Unbelievable. You owe this lady $1,299.84. That's the rent, that's the cell phone bill, that's the cancellation fee, and that's the medical insurance that you saw fit to use. That's my verdict.
Thank you.
Hold on right there.
Let's talk to the defendant first. He comes out of the hallway here. You have your ring now?
Yes, sir.
That's the ring? That's your 300 ring?
That's all I wanted back.
Okay. This whole long relationship with her, there she is. You had something going for such a long time. This means more to you than all of that?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just, wanted my ring back, and she would have got her money.
Mm-hmm. And what about your history with her? Where does that stand now?
I don't know.
Would you still like to have a relationship with her?
I still love her, yes.
What do you think is going to happen?
No clue.
All right. right that way.
Thank you.
All right. Being a pushover is not really that charming, you know. I mean, it's not that cute, really, that you allowed him to walk over you like that.
I know, but I loved him.
Did you hear what he just said?
I did. It breaks my heart.
You loved in the past tense, or?
I'll always love him. There'll always be a spot.
What is it about the two of you?
I don't know. I don't know. The head and the heart just don't always agree. I know in my head it's wrong, but the heart wants what it wants.
Okay, let's go to Harvey.
Okay, I gotta tell you something. I've done the People's Court for a long time. I mean, I may look 22, but I'm not. And I will tell you clearly that if you become a cash register to the other person in a relationship, especially at the beginning, if you become a cash register based on what I've seen in the People's Court for many, many years, this relationship will end badly. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Are your ad campaigns lighting up the dashboard, but not the pipeline? That's bullspend, and marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
My boss asked for results, so I opened my dashboard for the only positive-sounding metric I had: impressions.
Cut the bull spend. See revenue, not just reach. LinkedIn delivers the highest return on ad spend of major ad networks. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Livy Dunn, All-American gymnast and Viore athlete. When you travel and train as much as I do, you find happiness where you are. On the mat or on the sand, movement and comfort are essential. That's why I live in Performance Joggers by Viore. Made from DreamKnit fabric that's made of 89% recycled materials, effortlessly soft and made to move as much as I do. My happiness starts here, in the softest joggers on the planet. Get 20% off your first purchase at vuori.com/Libby. That's VUORI.com/LIVVY. Exclusions apply. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/Libby and discover the full versatility of Vuori clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions.
This is the plaintiff, Andrew Chip Stern. He says he rented a taxi from the defendant and gave him a $1,000 deposit to cover damages. And now that he's returned the cab, he can't get his deposit back. The defendant's a real wheeler dealer, but he's not about to let anyone, not even the defendant, wheel and deal him on anything. He's suing for $1,000, the amount he's owed and not a penny more. This is the defendant, Cliff Adler. He says he can't believe the plaintiff is suing him for the return of a damage deposit because the guy had 2 accidents, 6 weeks apart. In fact, he tried to hide the second accident from him. You learn from your mistakes. He'll never rent out his cab again and is now out $6,000 of his own money due to the plaintiff. Owe him his deposit back? Hardy R. He's accused of holding on to the cash.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Andrew Chip Stern, you are suing Cliff Adler
Yes, ma'am.
for $1,000, a security deposit that he has of yours that he refuses to return. Explain the relationship between the two of you.
Well, the relationship was he's an individual medallion owner.
A medallion is what?
The right to have a yellow cab on the road in New York City.
Right, okay. And that's a very valuable right? Like that's hard to get.
It's not hard to get, but it's expensive.
It's expensive. What's a medallion worth?
Last time I heard it was over $600,000.
Over $600,000. Okay. So you have a yellow cab on the streets of New York City, and you wanted to be able to do what?
Well, I was leasing the cab from him weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay. And is this a cab that you lease out the rest of the week to someone else, or you're driving it?
I drive.
Okay. So but you weren't driving it 7 days a week?
No.
All right. So he comes up to you with this idea, and you're gonna pay him how much to rent it?
Well, I paid him a premium over the going rate for what a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday shift would be. So
Why?
Why? Because he had a nice cab, and because I only wanted to do
So how much were you
weekends.
paying him?
I paid him $500 every weekend.
Okay, so you agree to pay $500, and you signed an agreement, right?
We signed an agreement.
Who authored the agreement?
I authored the
You
agreement.
authored it. Okay, can I see the agreement?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at issue is this clause. As part of this agreement, Stern agrees to give Adler a check for $1,000, representing a refundable deposit on 3A96. What's that, the medallion number?
3A96 is the medallion number.
So then what happens?
Well, what happens is I drove for Cliff from, I think it was February 10th to July 1st of 2012. I would take the cab home, and I would take it on Friday. I would garage it rather than park it on the street on Friday and Saturday.
Okay, I know about all that, but then what happens? There's an accident. Tell me about the
Yes, what happened was there was a gas station on 187th Street and Broadway.
Is that the first accident?
That's the first accident that I was responsible for.
No, tell me the first accident that happens with the cab.
The first accident occurred on Friday, May the 4th in Williamsburg.
Okay.
I was handling a credit card transaction, and it wasn't going through. And a young man was trying to maneuver around me, and he misjudged, and he rear-ended the car and put a ding in the left bumper.
Okay.
At that point, I pulled the car over, exchanged information with him. A policeman showed up, and the young man indicated he didn't want to deal with an insurance claim, and he said he would be good for covering the damage.
How'd that work out?
He took care of it.
Oh, he did? Wow, I didn't expect. I know, that's a first.
Surprised.
How much was it?
$1,600.
And did you get it fixed with the $1,600?
I did eventually, yes.
With that $1,600? Or did you wait for the second accident?
I actually waited till the second accident.
Okay, so hold those $1,600, then what happens?
Well, that is not true, Your Honor.
Which part?
any of it.
He didn't get $1,600 from the guy?
He got $1,500 from him to cover the cost of the accident. Then the following week, he got $600 from him to cover the time he lost getting the bumper fixed, only leaving out the small detail that he never got the bumper fixed. So basically, he leveraged the young man $2,100 under false pretenses.
How much did you get the young man from the young man? $2,100?
I guess what he said would be 21, yeah.
Okay. So now there's a second accident, which happens on what date?
That happened on the weekend ending Sunday, July 1st. I believe it was
tell me
on
about that
Friday
accident.
night. There's a gas station that I used in my neighborhood before I would garage the car. And I was basically hemmed in, and in trying to back out and get the car out of the gas station, I hit one of the metal extrusions on the gas island, and I put a bump in the right rear bumper of the car.
Now, at this point, had the bumper been fixed from the first accident?
The left bumper, no, it's never been fixed.
Okay, and so then what happens?
What happened was I called him and let him know that I had put a bump in the bumper, and I completed the weekend shift. The Thursday before my next weekend shift, Cliff called me up and said that he was going to abrogate our lease agreement, and that he was afraid that he would not be able to sustain his insurance
Why did you
coverage.
really want to stop the deal with him?
Your Honor, he hasn't said very much that's been the truth so far. So it's a bit hard for me to remember everything that he's just been telling you. The reason why I did not file with the insurance, I'm required by the Taxi and Limousine Commission to report to my broker any accident I have. If I don't, I can get into serious trouble with the TLC. This is why anytime I've had an accident, I let my broker know. Whether he contacts the insurance or not is his decision. If he feels he doesn't have to, or it's not necessary, or we can avoid it, then it's avoided. What he said to me after the second accident was, and the first accident, the guy paid for it, okay? So that wasn't important. On the second one, it didn't happen the last weekend, as Chip loves to say. It happened a few weeks before then. And on a Monday, I mean, I have to notice that. It's not just a little ding, as he likes to call it, and as he told me on emails, on my cheap old cab or whatever it was, when he wants to disparage the cab. It's a Lexus hybrid, and it is in beautiful condition, all right?
Do you have a picture of it?
Not with me, I'm sorry, ma'am.
Do you have pictures?
Yes, I do.
Oh, can I see it? So you ended up paying how much to fix both accidents? Because it was mercifully, it was the same bumper.
The shop I went to.
And you hadn't fixed it. Luckily, you hadn't fixed the first one yet.
The bumper had to be changed. Body work had to be taken out. The paint has to be matched up to the body and the bumper.
How much was the whole thing?
The whole thing cost me a little over $1,000 from the body shop.
That's a picture of the car before the bumper was
with the two blondes with you hanging all over you. Who are they?
They were some friends I made from Australia. The lady in the night is right as
the lady in the night.
The lady in the night.
Lady of the night. What was it you said?
That was I misspoke.
A Freudian slip. You meant the lady on the right.
I'm afraid so. They were passengers from Australia, where I helped them find a hotel they didn't have an address for.
Okay.
But that illustrates the car before the damage to the right bumper.
The damage to the left,
Adler,
the damage to the right.
May I address some things that Mr. Adler said?
No, because I pretty much have got it. Now, this $1,000, is this a dent in the right quarter panel? Or no?
I can't see from here, ma'am.
No, but I mean, do you know, was there damage?
Oh, yes.
There was damage to something other than the bumper?
The quarter panel on both sides, both quarter panels were hit. And
is that accurate?
And the bumper.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, you got all of this fixed for how much?
A little over $1,000.
Let me see the receipts of what it cost to get it fixed. And you did not go through insurance to get all of it fixed.
In the end, no.
In the end, you ended up just paying.
I told my broker, yeah.
You got paid like so much more than you deserved to get paid by that poor young sucker who was desperate not to claim it in his insurance. He must have been driving without insurance and didn't want to get in trouble for him to have covered that other accident. You get $2,100 and pocket that, okay. You call that fraud, but it's not really fraud because, he managed to convince this poor sucker that was $2,100 worth of damage when we both know that double that damage was $900 worth of damage.
So, generally speaking, are cab drivers good drivers or bad drivers?
In my experience, I would say they were bad.
Because?
I mean, if I need to be somewhere fast, they're super aggressive, which is helpful, but it's kind of scary.
Super aggressive, which is helpful. What do you think?
In my experience, yeah, they're fine.
Because?
I just haven't had a bad experience yet, so.
Okay, who's had a smelly experience? Yeah, that's what we've all had going inside the courtroom.
I have to decide one thing and one thing only. How much of the bill that you ended up paying for repairing the Lexus should be his responsibility on the accident that was his fault? Okay, because the first one he's completely exonerated of since you collected from somebody else on it, 4 times what it's worth. So I find that to be half, $480.50, and therefore I'm going to order you to return to him from the security deposit $519.50. That's verdict for the plaintiff. That's my ruling.
Well, the judge rules that the plaintiff is entitled to some of his security deposit back. Here's the defendant right here. What's your reaction to the outcome of this case here?
Very disappointed.
He doesn't seem like a very good driver. What are you doing?
I just said I had enough. I said, look, I can't afford to go to sleep at night. You know, I told him on the phone when I said I can't afford to keep you anymore because I can't afford to go to sleep.
Don't you check out how good a driver is before you lease your beautiful cab to him?
He's not a kid. He's been doing this his whole life. So,
all right. Will you ever lease it again to anybody?
No, I don't see so. No.
All right. Head right around the corner. Okay. All right. Good luck to you. All right. So here comes the cabbie out here. Step right in here next to me. Turn this way. You got some back, but not everything.
Well, life is like that sometimes, isn't it? Mr. Adler is a little disingenuous with his claims. He claims I damaged the car and didn't tell him for a few weeks, which is not true.
Do you talk like this when to your fares?
Yes, I do. And they find it very entertaining, sir.
Okay. Harvey?
Okay, you know what? This is a very simple point. When you sue and you win and you're entitled to damages, damages are supposed to make you whole, put back in the position you would have been in if the other party did the right thing. They are not designed to give you a windfall. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Maria Scarcella. She says she and her brother hired the defendant to pave a sidewalk and driveway around his home. And after 6 months, the sidewalk was chipping and flaking. The flim-flam sidewalk man promised to come out and fix it, but didn't. And after paying him $42,000 for the job, she wants him to give back $3,500 so she can get the repairs done right. This is the defendant, John. He says the plaintiff was very happy with the work he did, and when she complained of some holes after the first winter, he came back and patched them free of charge. Now, all this time later, she's claiming she's not happy with the job and wants an entirely new sidewalk? Come on. He's done all he can do, so now it's in the judge's hands. He's accused of not cementing a deal.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Maria Scarcella?
Yes.
You are suing John. You've asked to be referred to only by your first name and not to mention your company name. You're suing John's company for $3,500, the estimate that you have to redo a sidewalk that you say he did in a faulty fashion. Tell me what happened here.
Yes. Basically, my brother had hired John to do pavers, a sidewalk, other brickwork around the house. But my brother unexpectedly passed away in March of 2008.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. So I put the job on hold till about 8-9 months later when I was ready to revisit the job. In the interim, my mom and I moved into his house, and I wanted to execute my brother's wishes. So I contacted John, and we started the work December of 2008.
Okay. What was the work?
We had to do the whole entire driveway. We had to do some work in the back, fix waterproof, do some stuff around the house.
No. If I want to know what the work is, things like stuff around the house, some work in the back is not an answer. I want to know because it was a very good contract for you, right? How much was this?
Close to $42,000.
$42,000. So I'm trying to understand what the work was. Exactly what was the work?
We had to do a whole new sidewalk, curb.
How many feet of sidewalk?
About 40 feet, 40 by 4.
Uh-huh.
Then we had to build a ramp with a new set of stairs. We had to fix our old staircase, repoint it. We also had to repoint the whole front of the house, waterproof it. We also did some cobblestone work, which is a natural stone, pretty much all around the perimeter.
Do you have a picture of it?
I have a picture of the...
No, I know of the sidewalks in question. I'm just curious if you have a picture of the other work.
Yeah, no.
Okay, do you?
I have most of the sidewalk, but mainly from, I have a piece of the driveway.
Okay. All right, so the work is completed back in sometime in 08, 09.
Right.
And when is the first inkling that you have that there's something wrong and that you want him to readdress it?
That was the year we had really bad snowstorms. It was like snowstorm after snowstorm. So spring of 09, when everything melted, I noticed the sidewalk was chipping. And everything else was fine. And I'm content with the other work. The pavers are beautiful. The ramp, I actually added that work for the ramp because my mom had Parkinson's disease and she needed a ramp. So I even added more work to the original work.
Right.
So the sidewalk just started chipping. But the ramp, no. And he specifically told me, do not throw rock salt, which I did not. I threw down the calcium chloride, the ones he said that was safe for the cement and everything. So, and it just kept chipping and chipping.
Is this what we're talking about?
Correct.
So, God, that's so weird.
The chipping, I have the chipping here.
And that's, what causes this?
That's from when it's very icy snow, the trucks come around and they spread the salt. So that hits the sidewalk. And once the salt rock lays there after a while, salt will lead through anything.
So you're talking about the city trucks?
Correct.
What's it cost to put in a new sidewalk for those 40 feet?
Between $1,500 to $1,800. Depends on what, who's doing it.
But you've got an estimate for $3,500?
Because I'm using another company.
I know, you're using another company.
Obviously, yeah.
But,
and he actually said, when I told him I wasn't happy with it, he said, okay, I'll do it for you at cost $1,600. At cost $1,600. And at first, I agreed. I don't know why, I shouldn't have. And then I thought about it, and I was
sometimes you're just tired. That's why.
I guess. I just wanted,
wanted it over and done and right.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And I didn't want it to have to come to this. And then I'm like, wait a second, and then I go back to the, original invoice. This is a $42,000 job. And like I said, I'm happy with the pavers. I'm happy with the ramp. The ramp has no chips. If it was rock salt.
But a sidewalk should last a lot longer than now.
Exactly.
But what about what he's saying, which is, hey, it's not my fault. It's nothing defective in the sidewalk. It's the salt that the city's pouring.
Then why did he agree to do the work in December? I even said to him, is it okay to do the work in December? Yeah, don't worry about it, the concrete.
Well, no, does that have, okay, wait a minute. Let's find out what you're saying. What is your testimony that even whether you do the work in December or do the work ever, that salt is going to eat through the cement or only?
It doesn't matter, correct.
So in other words, the next Christmas it was going to be the same problem?
Also, Your Honor.
But why doesn't everybody's sidewalk look like that?
Exactly.
Shouldn't everybody's sidewalk then look like this?
Also, with a ramp, it was also concrete, and there was nothing wrong with the ramp.
Can you answer what I just asked?
What was that?
Why doesn't everybody's sidewalk in Staten Island look like this?
Most of them, they do, Your Honor.
Most of the sidewalks in Staten Island look like this?
No, they don't. I looked at my neighbors. I even walked around. I saw beautiful concrete work after we had major snowstorms.
Salt will lead to anything, Your Honor.
Court's in recess.
So the cement is chipping after 6 months. Is it a bad job?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bad job. They need to redo it.
Bad snowstorm that winter?
I understand, but they need to redo it.
Why? Because of 6 months? Is that the problem here?
I mean, no, they just did a bad job.
Why is it automatically a bad job if it starts chipping after 6 months?
Yes.
It's too short a time.
Yeah.
Everybody agree? Everybody agree?
Not necessarily.
We're cool?
Depends what was told before he did the job. If you said it wasn't going to go...
Yeah, I'm going to do a really crappy job for you, sir. I don't think so, going inside the courtroom.
I did a little research into what causes this kind of concrete pitting. Your pictures are actually much worse than hers. There's, let's say, maybe 10 reasons, 9 of which have to do with the contractor. The only one that the contractor can say, hey, it ain't me, is the salt issue. She is very clear that she never put the kind you said don't put. I am sure you tell your customers.
I do, yes.
Yeah, so, and I know you do, because she says, he immediately told me, and I would never use that. So you say, well, maybe it's the city. The city doesn't de-ice your sidewalks. The city de-ices the street. But maybe some of it spills on there. Well, if that's the case, I want to see how all of Staten Island has this, or a lot of Staten Island has this. And a lot, you know, I think that it's fair to say that this is not how Staten Island looks. Staten Island may have its problems now over Hurricane Sandy, but it doesn't have its problems over concrete. And the concrete issue is usually due, this kind of pitting, the usual culprits are the pour, the concrete, the excessive accelerator used when you're trying to do it in the winter and avoid bad weather that is on the horizon. Anyway, I am, when you tell me, oh, it costs $1,500 to do that, that's interesting, because you told her that your cost, and you'd eat the labor, was $1,500. So it can't possibly cost her $1,500 to get this done, at least not here in New York. How many estimates did you get?
I got...
no, not you, I'm sorry.
I just have
Did
one.
you get estimates?
I did. I had people go by to give a rough estimate of what the sidewalk cost is, yes.
Oh, can I see your estimates too?
Sure.
Wait, whose estimates are these? Frank's Masonry.
That's mine.
Oh, and One Masonry and Tony Masonry.
Correct.
Those are all yours. What are your estimates? Let me see your estimates.
I just have Mezzacappa.
Okay, let me see that.
Who was highly recommended, and a friend of mine uses him, and that's why I want to go with him.
Right, I understand that, but I have to figure out what the fair market value of this job is, as opposed to just the guy you want to go with if he's twice as expensive. I do, however, have a concern that if you tell her that you'll do it at cost and she has to pay $1,600, that then you just got your buddies in the business to say it's $1,400.
The way it goes, Your Honor, is in Staten Island, it goes by the square foot. Normal square foot goes from $5 to $7, $8. You know,
I know, but here's where my problem lies. I don't know if I trust you. If you tell a customer that your cost is $1,500 and then you're showing me, you know, oh look, $1,400 is what it costs. Why are you telling a customer that your cost is $1,500? Because that means you're not making profit. So if it's true that your cost is $1,500 or $1,600, how much was it he said he'd do? I'll do it at my cost.
He do it at my cost, $1,600.
$1,600, then that means that you're foregoing profit. That means that the real cost is supposed to be, you know, double or something. Right. So why is it that her quote is so bad? And why is it that your quotes are lower than what you claim your cost was?
Because
so now I don't trust you.
Right. When I go to get the sidewalk permits, I have to pay other people to get the permits. Pay this, pay that adds up.
Yeah. Well, how come it doesn't add up for the other guys?
I have no idea how the other guy works, Your Honor.
Yeah, I do. What happens is you have friends in the business and you ask them to give you lowball. And then what I watch for on that side is one estimate instead of three, and the one estimate is highball. You guys think you're my first rodeo? You're not my first rodeo. I do this all the time. All right, guys.
To be honest,
stop. We're done. I find in favor of the plaintiff, and I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's my judgment. Good luck to everybody.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Here's the way to win this case. Take pictures of other sidewalks on the block and show they look better than yours.